Well, dear Queenagers, here I am in the Cotswolds. I've been visiting my family. We've had an exciting week here at Noon. On Tuesday, we had our biggest party yet. 150 Queenager entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs-to-be came along to drink champagne, network and celebrate our brand new Noon Entrepreneur Club. This was a real pinch me moment. It's only 5 years since I became a founder myself at 50. I'd been a senior journalist and newspaper executive for 30 years, but I'd never run my own business. I found the learning curve to be hectic, steep, exciting, stressful, and a bit lonely. When you're working for yourself, you lack peers to brainstorm and troubleshoot with. I wanted to create this Entrepreneurs Club to help support incredible women who are realising their dream to become founders in midlife. It's obviously struck a nerve. We launched 2 weeks ago and we've already got over 500 of you in the club. So if you want to join us, do click on the link just in here in the newsletter. The queue at the party of the inspirational Queenagers spilled down the street outside Soho's Bang Studios, the swanky venue for our London Noon Circles. If you fancy coming to one of those, the next one's tomorrow, on Monday the 6th. Click here if you fancy checking it out. Looking at all those people, I was a bit anxious before kick-off as we poured out the fizz and put out all the important snacks. I had those jitters. Will anyone come? Will it go okay? But I needn't have worried. You Queenagers showed up, and how. It was rammed. The atmosphere was electric. Such a buzz, so much excitement, so many ideas and incredible women. Some with already thriving businesses thinking about scaling, exiting and investment, as well as those just taking the plunge. We kicked the evening off with my friend Corinne's chilled tunes and ice-breaking exercises. She all got us to pause and be still. She said we were a hard crowd, and as it took quite a while to stop everybody talking because they were so overexcited. I find that a lot at the Noon Circles. Getting Queenagers to settle down is always the hardest thing. And then we had a short but punchy panel. I talked about setting up Noon and how I'd done that because I didn't want anyone else to feel as lost as I did when I got made redundant. I remember looking around and trying to find something to help me reinvent, and just getting the HMRC website, which was not the kind of inspirational content I was looking for. I was really wanting to get out of the dark wood of despondency, and there was nothing out there. So I decided to be the change I wanted to see and set up Noon to help other women starting a new chapter. And wow, has it worked? More than I could ever have dreamed of. It's why I feel so passionate about helping other women get their own dreams off the ground at this point. So it was particularly fitting that first up on the panel was Rachel Peru. Some of you will remember her story from my book, Much More to Come. Having spent 20 years at home raising her kids, one of whom's got special needs, Rachel was persuaded by a friend to walk in a charity fashion show up in Yorkshire. She got the bug and amazingly became a model in her 40s, working with the likes of Ashley Graham. I first met Rachel when she'd had me on her podcast when I first set up Noon, and she was on one of our very, very first inspirational transformation stories on the website, showing that we really can become the women we always wanted to be in midlife. And now, after nearly 10 years as a successful curve model, she has become an entrepreneur, launching a new swimwear line for Queenagers, starting at a double D cup and going up to a G cup. Hooray. Again, you can click here to buy her costumes. She spoke about her story and then, ta-da, took off her beautiful red dress and shimmied out of it and to show her brand new costume to the whole room, showing what midlife body confidence looks like. I had no idea she was going to do that, but it set the tone for an evening of joy and surprises. Next up was one of our great Queenagers and the host of our Folkestone Circle, Sam Cooper-Gray, who until recently was in charge of all small business stuff at HSBC. Some of you will remember last year that Noon did a big research project for HSBC on Queenager entrepreneurs. We featured everyone from Trini to Emma Bridgewater, Laura Tennyson, and many other women who'd started incredible companies. And we kicked it off with a massive launch in Mayfair, to which many of them came. And then I was on Women's Hour talking about it. We made a big splash about it. But that incredible piece of research was commissioned by Sam in her former gig as global chief of HSBC's small and medium enterprise offering. The report highlighted the opportunities, but also some of the hurdles women founders were facing. And high on the list was a sense that they often felt a bit lonely, like I did, felt a lack of support and lack of people to brainstorm with. So I've been dreaming up our Noon Entrepreneur Club ever since to provide exactly this kind of community. We also realised that many of these Queenagers who were setting up businesses to fill a gap they saw in their own lives wanted somewhere to sell to other women just like them. In my former life, I was the editorial director of a national newspaper, and I know how hard it is for advertisers to reach Queenagers. We don't watch ads on TV, don't read papers much anymore, and aren't on social media in the way that many youngsters are. Plus, if you're wanting to buy an Instagram ad, it's incredibly expensive, and who wants to give their money to Meta? Particularly if you've been following all the fuss about this incredible book, Careless People, and the woman that they've gagged about it. So I joined the dots. We have a highly engaged community of women now on Noon, reaching up to 100,000, and they're exactly the customers our entrepreneurs want to talk to. So we've also launched something called the Noon Directory on our website. Check it out, which is a place where entrepreneurs can sell into our Noon community, and where all of you on this newsletter can now find everything you need, from a coach to a female financial advisor to a midlife friendly holiday or retreat, or you can browse incredible products made by Queenagers for Queenagers. The Noon Directory is a kind of marketplace for all of us where the entrepreneurs can sell to you and you can buy from them. I really hope that you'll support other women just like you as they set off on their entrepreneurial journey, and by doing so you'll also be helping support us here at Noon as well. Anyway, you're going to be hearing a lot more about the directory, so do check it out. And if you'd like to advertise your product or service, then click on this link to discover our amazing introductory offer. And if you'd like to have a browse, then click on it here. So today we're featuring some people called B Journey, who were one of the first people to sign up, and we'll be featuring lots more of you in our newsletters and in our social media to come. But back to Sam Cooper-Gray at the party. In her new incarnation, she set up an organisation called Women Are Good Business, which highlights the economic benefits of investing in female entrepreneurs. And in a brilliant speech, she told us that although women make up 51% of the population, they run just 19% of businesses. And female-led companies actually deliver 35% higher returns than companies run by men. As she said, she never had a woman she lent money to run out and buy a Ferrari. As our report for HSBC showed, we tend to bootstrap, are careful with money, employ women like us, and allow them to work flexibly what the economy needs and what Queenagers need. We found that flexibility for Queenagers was 15 times more important than status. But our efforts frequently fall down because we only receive 2%, a paltry 2% of all the investment going to entrepreneurs out there. This really has to change, so we're really banging the drums on that. I hope that my old friend Andy Burnham takes note of this, because if existing women entrepreneurs, not even counting new ones who are just getting started, got access to capital to scale their businesses at the same rate as men do, we'd add a staggering 310 billion to the UK economy. Those are Sam's figures. 20 billion more in tax receipts for the Treasury. Just think what that could do for the NHS or children's services, or all the things that we know that we need to be spending money on. Sam's message: when it comes to investment, women aren't the risky bet, they're the overlooked one. From there, the party took on a life of its own. The champagne flowed, the conversation roared, with friendships being formed and deals being made all around us. That's what we've built together at Noon, with supportive circles, a sense of optimism in midlife, that we're not done yet and there is much more to come. And now, with our Entrepreneur Club, that's really adding to the mix too. I had no idea when broken-hearted and as lost as I've ever been, I launched Noon, thanks to the generosity of my co-founder and angel investor Claire Gillis, that we could help and inspire so many women. I still can't quite believe that what began as an idea, a hunch, has become such a real and buzzing movement. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. It's only a few years ago that I put in one of these newsletters a call for anyone who fancied having a chat to come to the flat in Soho for what became the very first Noon Circles. But I know now that from small acorns, large trees really do grow. So if you've been thinking about launching a business, whether that's a product like Rachel's beautiful swimming costumes, or a service like Noon, or as many women are doing, selling your services back into an industry you've already become expert in, what are you waiting for? We've got your back, and thanks to our lovely Noon Entrepreneur Club sponsors BKL, we've got the access to all the expertise you need. Do check them out. You can email Queenagers at BKL to get a free consultation about how they might be able to help your business. And I'm also so grateful to all the Queenagers who have stepped forward offering workshops for the Entrepreneur Club going forward. We're going to have another in-person event in October, all about harnessing the power of AI. There's an online entrepreneur circle next week on July 8th. If you sign up to the club, where we'll be working out how best we can help you all. And we've got sessions coming up on business development, marketing, whether or not you need to be a limited company, all of those kinds of things. Watch this space. And in other news, Noon editorial director Jennifer Howes and I spoke at the Longevity Show in 36-degree heat about Noon and the importance and purpose of knowing what we are living longer to actually do. We had fun hanging out with Joe Wicks. I once made him pose for a photographer surrounded by vegetables. He says he's just about forgiven me. And we met incredible female health professionals from all over the world. It was great to see some of all you Noon ladies there too. When you read this on Sunday, I'll be off to lead our mini retreat in Warwickshire. We're doing swimming in Rebecca's lovely lake, holding a circle. Hope to see many more of you at a Noon event soon. And until then, thanks so much for being a part of all of this. None of this happens without all of you. If you've been reading this for a while, why not sign up and become a member to support our work, or come along to a trip or even an event. Still a few spots on our Queenager trip of a lifetime to Luxor in Egypt in the autumn, and for our Wazing one-day signature retreat in October. Much love. Here I am in Gloucestershire. See you soon. Bye.